SpaceX's Starlink project provides satellite internet coverage to 40 different countries, and by 2023 plans to install a global mobile service. The satellites themselves were launched back in 2019, and as of September 2022, Starlink consists of more than 3,000 small satellites in low Earth orbit. They communicate with established ground-based receiving transmitters. He hopes to place about 12,000 satellites in orbit, with the prospect of expanding to 42,000 in the near future. So, during one of the launches of the Starlink satellite, viewers watching this grandiose event noticed something strange. An object similar to a large cigar flew next to them. Rocket. Of course, this is not the first time that one of the many SpaceX cameras detected something very. It looks like an unidentified flying object, moreover. Almost every time a company launches a rocket into space, enthusiastic viewers have time to notice strange and incomprehensible things. People managed to do on the frames photos and screenshots of the object from the video. Their quick reaction and attentiveness allowed us to make sure that there was really something next to the rocket. The objects were moving at high speed and did not linger in the frame for more than a second or two. Most of those who noticed this cigar-shaped object were very excited. It seemed that it was actually a UFO. The pictures quickly spread on the internet, and on this, there was a lot of controversy about this. Most experts considered this object to be space debris, but conspiracy theorists had a completely different opinion due to the repeated appearance of such strange objects in other videos from space. They were sure that it was something more than just space debris. The appearance of this unknown cylindrical object of a flickering rocket has forced many to carefully study other launch videos. People are also looking forward to the opportunity to carefully study all the videos of upcoming launches, so as not to miss anything, because they encounter unidentified objects quite. Back in April 2022, NASA and SpaceX successfully launched 4 astronauts on the launch. Took place without incident with the help of the SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft, with the exception of one small incident during the flight to the crew of the International Space Station experienced a severe fright. The U.S. Space Command informed them about the possibility of a collision with an unidentified object, according to Kelly Humphreys, a NASA representative. There was no time to try to avoid a collision with the object, so SpaceX advised astronauts to fasten their seatbelts in case of a critical situation. Humphrey said that the probability of a collision was so high that there was no time to confidently calculate and perform a bypass maneuver to prevent an accident, according to a representative of the Space Command. The Pentagon notified NASA about the possibility of a collision almost 7 hours after the launch of the spacecraft, however. After further analysis, the Space Control Squadron 18 found out that there was no threat of a collision, and all astronauts on board the spacecraft were safe. An unidentified object approached the spacecraft at a distance of 45 km. Not that. It was very alarming, but at the same time, it is quite dangerous. Another incident that caused a stir in social networks occurred in April 2022. Thousands of people shared a video clip showing how a flying spiral sweeps over the top of the volcano Mauna Kea. The footage was shot by cameras mounted on a Subaru telescope at about 5 p.m. Many viewers were sure that this flying spiral was somehow connected with alien spacecraft. But researchers such as Jade Armstrong from the Institute of Astronomy of the University of Hawaii has a different opinion. He immediately rejected everything these far-fetched theories and explained to internet users that it had nothing to do with an unidentified flying object or a secret visit by aliens. A strange formation in the sky was part of a Falcon 9 rocket launched by SpaceX earlier that day. The California Space Base noted that it was the upper stage of a rocket that was brought out of orbit over the Pacific Ocean immediately after the end of its work as the fuel burned. It spiraled and thus created a pattern in the sky similar to fireworks. Unidentified objects quite often appear next to SpaceX rockets in general. It is worth noting that this is not a new trend, even when the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket exploded during a test launch in 2016. Some conspiracy theorists who studied the footage noticed mysterious flying objects next to it. The highest quality footage of the rocket explosion was presented by one of the non-commercial American video campaigns. They filmed this moment from a safe distance. Using a zoom lens, the video was posted on YouTube on September 1, 2016, and immediately attracted the attention of fans of aliens. The flying object on the recording is definitely real. If you slow down the video, you can see a dark figure flying across the entire screen and moving towards the rocket. And if you consider that for some time it exploded for unknown reasons, then there is a reason to think about whether it is the tricks of aliens. Some are excited internet theorists suggested that it was some kind of alien object, or maybe even a hunter. But people with a more realistic approach noted that it was most likely a bird flying a frisbee insect, or even an airplane flying in the distance, to be honest. The bird theory seems most plausible after watching the video. Many people also agree that the alleged UFO appears both before and after the explosion. Except in addition, some were able to count a few more flying objects in the distance, which most likely were also birds. However, not only SpaceX noticed a cigar-shaped anomaly. As it turned out, this has been repeatedly observed on video from space long before the SpaceX camera captured a strange cylindrical object on NASA footage. Something similar was also discovered. Conspiracy theorists noticed another one, an alien ship near the International Space Station in 2016. It seemed to them that its shape resembles a cigar. Many believe that this is a long cylindrical alien ship could have visited us before Scott, wearing the indefatigable alien hunter, discovered an object in NASA records with the space station. He was also one of those who noted that the object has an extraordinary similarity to what they noticed near the Space Shuttle Atlantis in 2006. As in most other UFO sightings, conspiracy theorists did not report more logical explanations for these objects seen in space. But Scott is absolutely convinced that aliens really exist. According to him, they fly into our solar system from time to time. Scott said, during the observation, I noticed a long cylindrical object floating near the space station. Its speed was comparable to the speed of the IS, but the object was translucent. Unfortunately for him, the screen turned blue just at the moment when he thought that the camera is about to focus. According to him, this happens when NASA tries to capture a UFO on camera. Broadcast is simply interrupted for a few minutes. It seems that cigar-shaped objects are a popular space spectacle. Another such object, called Oumuamua, was spotted in 2017 when it flew at high speed through the solar system. Astronomers did not know how to classify it, but were sure that it was not an alien spacecraft. However, its strange shape, movement led some scientists to assume that Oumuamua is some kind of alien development that may be exploring space after all. It was the first object from another star system that flew into ours. But after a thorough study of the data, an international group of researchers concluded that there was no convincing evidence in favor of the theory about aliens, discovered by Robert Century using a telescope at the observatory on October 19, 2017. Almost 40 days after September 9, he was at a distance of about 3 million kilometers from Earth, already gaining speed and moving away from the Sun. Scientists tracked this reddish object from October 14, 2016 to January 2, 2018, after which it became too pale. The length of Oumuamua, even with the help of the most powerful telescope, was estimated at about 800 m. An astronomer at the University of Maryland and co-head of research in the journal Nature Astronomy, Mitunit, said that their main conclusion is that according to their properties, Oumuamua similar to an object of natural origin. Of course, if it had made a sudden, inexplicable turn, experts would have conducted an additional investigation into the possibility of its existence on planetary spaceships, but this did not happen. The name Oumuamua comes from the Hawaiian language, and means messenger from a far night, also explained that it was not easy to fit this object into the usual classifications, such as comets or asteroids. They did not put it in any of these categories and preferred to use the following term object. According to researchers, Oumuamua had some. That is, it was ejected from a distant star system and moved through interstellar space. From the observational data, it can be seen that it accelerates the slower the farther it goes from the sun, which is typical for comets, however. And at the same time, the object did not have a dust tail or a gas jet, which are characteristic signs of a fireplace. Researchers believe that Oumuamua is a planetary building block or a fragment of a planet formed in a distant star system. The composition of this mysterious object is still not known. It is difficult to say whether it is just a stone or whether it has metal or other elements. But what if it really is UFOs and conspiracy theorists are right about these cigar-shaped objects? What if they are not just space debris or fragments from the far corners of space after all? There is no way to confirm what these unidentified objects really are and why they are shaped like long cylindrical cigars. If you like this video, do not forget to rate it and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your attention. See you soon for now.